Hello everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. So in today's video, we are going to understand how to sync Asana with Google Sheets and get real-time task updates. So in Asana, I have created some tasks which I've also added in my Google Sheet as well. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to update a task in Asana, then automatically that task should also be updated in my Google Sheets as well. So now to do this, I need to build a connection between these applications, for which I'm going to use this amazing automation software, that is Pabbly Connect. So Pabbly Connect follows the concept of trigger and action. So now to do this, here my trigger application will be Asana and in my action application will be Google Sheets. So if you want to learn more about this, follow me through the screen. In this video, we are going to understand how to sync Asana with Google Sheets and get real-time task updates. So in Asana, I have created some tasks and I've added those tasks in a Google Sheet as well. So here my objective is that whenever I'm going to update a task in Asana, then automatically the same task should be updated in Google Sheets as well. So now to automate this entire process, I'm going to use Pabbly Connect, and as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. But if you're a new user, you can click on the sign up for free button and every month you will get 100 tasks for free. So as an existing user, I'm going to sign in. Now this here is the all applications page. So here I will go to Pabbly Connect and click on access now to reach my dashboard. In the meanwhile, subscribe to our channel. So this here is my dashboard, and now in order to create a new workflow, I will go to my right hand side corner and click on this create workflow button. So now in this dialog box appearing, I'm going to give my workflow a name. So here I've named it as Sync Asana with Google Sheets and get real-time task updates. And on my left-hand side, you can see that these are the folders that I've created before. So I want to save this workflow in the folder named as Asana to Google Sheets automation, because this automation involves Asana and Google Sheets. And now here I'm going to click on create. So as I did that, now I've arrived on a very important window which consists of trigger and action. Basically, trigger and action are the two most important principles or concepts of Pabbly Connect on which this entire automation will depend. Trigger says when this happens, action says do this. Action is an automated response of a trigger application, and in a workflow, we can only have one trigger but multiple action applications. So now moving to my use case, that is to sync Asana with Google Sheets for real-time task updates. So moving back to Pabbly Connect, I will go to my trigger window, and here I'm going to search for Asana as my trigger application. And here the trigger event will be update task in a project. So this trigger will start working whenever a task will be updated inside a specific project. And now moving to my action window, as I want to update the same task in my Google Sheet as well. So here Google Sheets will be my action application. And the action event will be to update row, and here it is. So as I've selected my action application and the action event along with my trigger application and the trigger event, my objective is to sync Asana with Google Sheets and get real-time task updates. So in order to automate this entire process, firstly, I have to establish a connection between Asana and Pabbly Connect. So here I'm going to click on connect. And in order to add a new connection, I will simply click on Connect with Asana. I've already opened Asana in one of my tabs. So here you can see that Asana and Pabbly Connect is connected. So now moving to the project part. So here in Asana, this is a project that I've created by the name of social media project. So in Pabbly Connect, from this drop down, I've selected social media project as my project. So as over here, I've selected the project. Now I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. So as I did that, here you can see it is waiting for a test submission or record so that the data can be recorded over here in this response. So now that means here in Asana, I'm going to update one of the tasks in order to capture the response over here in Pabbly Connect. So over here, let's say I'm going to update this task, that is create a social media planner for Mr. Demo and Mr. Dummy. So here in this Google Sheet, you can see the task which I've created in my Asana account. So here you can see that the task which I'm going to update is this one, that is to create a social media planner for Mr. Demo and Mr. Dummy. So let's say I'm going to update it as create a social media planner for clients. I'm removing this part from here, and here I'm going to mention clients. So here you can see that our update has been made over here in Asana in this task. So this would have been captured in Pabbly Connect. So taking you to Pabbly Connect, over here you can see that I have received a response. So here you can see the assignee name along with when it was changed and everything. So here are the details of the task. So over here in the action you can see it says changed, and here is the change field, that is the name. So over here that means I've successfully updated the task in Asana. So over here you can see this is the updated name that is captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So that means the task which I've just updated in Asana is successfully captured over here. So the first part of this automation is set up. That means now whenever I'm going to update a task in Asana in a specific project, then automatically the update will get captured over here in Pabbly Connect. So this trigger will instantly capture the new incoming data and the workflow execution will start in real time. So as over here I've got the details. So here in this Google Sheet you can see that there is no update as of now. So in order to do that here in Pabbly Connect, so firstly to update the row I need to fetch the details which were added in the Google Sheet. So over here in order to do that, again in this action window I'm going to search for Google Sheets. And here I'm going to use lookup. So here I'm going to use lookup to fetch the data. So I'm going to click on connect. And in order to add a new connection, you just have to sign in with your Google account. So here I'm going to click on allow as this is a secure access. And the authorization was successful. So over here by using lookup, I'm going to fetch the details from this Google Sheet in Pabbly Connect. So over here from the select spreadsheet part, I'm going to select my spreadsheet. So here's my Google Sheet by the name of Asana task, and it consists of 4 columns and only of 1 sheet. So over here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to select my spreadsheet first. And over here it has automatically selected the sheet. So now moving to the lookup column. So over here, as I've mentioned, it consists of 4 columns. So the lookup column will be of the task ID. So here in Pabbly Connect, I'm going to look up for the task ID. So here the lookup column will be D. And now moving to the lookup value. So over here, I need to enter the value that is to be searched. So as the task ID is in the D column, so here I'm going to map it. So basically mapping means to insert the data from previous step. So as I've received the task ID from Asana from the previous step, so here I've mentioned it. So as you can see that I have selected the lookup column that is of the task ID in Pabbly Connect, and here I've mapped the lookup value. So now I'm going to click on save and send test request. And here you can see that I have received a response. So in this response, you can see that the details are fetched from that Google Sheet. So here you can see this is the row index and over here is the task. So over here in the response, you can see that the task which is mentioned over here in this Google Sheet is the old one. So now to update it, I will go to my action window and now I'm going to click on connect once again. So as I've already built a connection once, so here I'm simply going to click on save. So here you can see that Google Sheets is once again connected. Now moving to the spreadsheet. So again, I'm going to select the same spreadsheet. It has detected the sheet. So now moving to the row index. So as I've received the row index from the response from Google Sheets, so here I'm going to map it. Now moving to these details. So again, from the response received, I'm going to map the details. So here is the updated task which I've received from Asana. So I've mapped it. So now moving to the assign to details. Here I'm going to map the assignee. Now moving to the due date. So again from the response received, I'm going to search for the due date. And here it is. And now I'm going to map the task ID. So here I've mapped it. So as you can see that in this workflow, I've mapped the details. So this method of mapping is important so that every time you're going to receive a new response, so that response could be captured over here in these fields. If I would have written this information manually, in that case, this information could have become static, which means that it wouldn't change even if I would have received a new response. So in order to avoid that problem, we map the information. So as I've mapped the details, so here I'm going to click on save and send test request. So here you can see in the response, here's the spreadsheet ID, updated range, row, column and the cells. That means the task which I've added in my Google Sheets would have also been updated. So taking you to my Google Sheet, and yes, over here you can see that
the task is updated successfully. So over here, as previously it was mentioned to create a social media planner for Mr. Demo and Dummy user, now it appears as create a social media planner for clients. So over here in Asana, you can see that this here is the task which I've updated, and the same task is successfully updated over here in this Google Sheet. So this automation is a successful one. That means now whenever I'm going to update a task in Asana, then automatically the same task which I've added in my Google Sheet will also be updated. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe.
Not just these applications, you can integrate a lot more applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubts regarding Pabbly, reach us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can visit us at forum.pabbly.com. If you have any pricing related query, you can visit this link. So if you like this video, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe our channel.